Hi, my name is Ron Kennedy. I'm a career coach and business mentor. And as part of the strange time that we find ourselves in, COVID and this global pandemic, I thought it'd be interesting to find new ways to network. So I've asked a couple of contacts to come online and to speak a little bit about what they do. So today I've asked Michael to come on and join me, and very kindly has agreed to do so. Michael, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Yeah, sure thing, Ron. Hello, everybody. My name is Michael O'Keefe. I'm 24 years old. I'm from Dublin. I'm a graduate of DCU. I studied an MA in Film and Television there, as well as BA in Communication Studies. Main field I'm looking to get into is kind of digital marketing communications, and I've got previous experience in both those fields, having worked for a digital marketing startup in Dublin City Centre.
Wow. So before you go in any further, I'm just really curious about the MA in film studies. I'm a bit of an amateur film buff in my spare time, but can you tell me, like, what was that like? Was it interesting? Was it difficult? Like, what was it like doing that master's?
It was. I really enjoyed it. So I did it from the point of view that, again, I like yourself would be a bit of an amateur film buff, and it's something I spent a lot of my spare time doing. And I really, from an educational point of view, I really wanted to kind of learn how to write at a kind of a higher standard, just something a bit more of a step up, and to challenge myself and see, could I write at that higher standard compared to your normal BA standard. So
So when you think about it that way, it seems like you went into communications, and then nearly looking at the film and developing from there, there's like a kind of common thread of communications or writing or visual presentation. Is that what you thought, or is that just kind of the way it happened afterwards?
yeah, that is, like, I've always been kind of very confident standing up and doing public speaking and presentations stuff. I've done like speech and drama when I was younger, and then we
Cool.
did like modules on it in communications. So then kind of going into maybe writing and kind of communications in as a master's seemed like the kind of a natural step, and definitely the course itself gave me a lot of scope to kind of write creatively and to really challenge myself and write.
Did you find you had to like write different styles? Like, because let's say communicating for social media is one thing, or writing a report is a different thing, or writing for like a screenplay is a slightly different thing. Did it expand you that way, or was it kind of, I don't know, stuff you already knew?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously there you build on what you know from communications, but then they ask you to write about uh, stuff that you wouldn't have known about, say for example, like sexuality studies, feminism versus masculinity, those kind of topics. And then they also gave you scope for like actually to write critically about films and how to break down how to actually write critically about other people's art and other people's work, which was, I think, was fascinating. And they really gave you that kind of scope to explore your own avenues of thought about film and how you interpreted a piece of art.
Super. I think it's great. I think the writing is really a great skill for like every graduate to develop, because it really gets you to focus in on exactly what you're trying to say, get that absolute clarity, and get that sort of the next steps, the end point of the result that you're trying to get to. Because so often, we just don't have that clarity in what we're trying to communicate or the audience we're trying to get to. So I think that's really great. But tell me, did you use those skills going forward then when, I mean, you talked about working in digital marketing and so on? Were you able to harness
Yeah,
those skills?
absolutely. I think like when you write a thesis that's like 15, 16,000 words, you obviously, first of all, you start off writing far more than you need to, and you have to learn how to edit your own work, to edit your own words. And despite what you may think is excellent, you kind of have to look at it very, very critically. And that's something, a skill I definitely brought into the office world, the working world, is where you can actually critique your own work and not be afraid to be quite harsh on yourself,
Yeah.
as well as just, I think it taught me how to write creatively as well. I think you have to learn how to develop a tone of voice and a way of expressing clearly and simply what you want to get across, both
Yeah.
in from your thesis. And I brought those skills into like writing social media and blog posts and emails and stuff.
Yeah, it makes total sense, because that's what the social media and the blog posts and the advertising, it's all about tone of voice, it's all about audience, it's all about communicating the right message. Can you tell us a little bit about the experience you've had in the social media, the digital marketing sphere?
Yeah, so the company I worked for was a tech startup based in town, and they offered bespoke digital marketing services to the hospitality trade in Ireland and England. And so my day-to-day role as a community manager was to sit down, or either face-to-face or via Skype or Zoom, and chat with the owners of these businesses, or the management, or the chefs, or whoever was taking the kind of the lead role in their marketing services, and basically come up with marketing campaigns and come up with slogans and themes, and like what sort of color schemes they wanted across their social media, and to basically then take all that information and to start using that to write social media posts, or like emails or blog posts, etc.
Oh, super. So you really kind of, excuse me, involved in quite high level decision making with like senior people or the people at the top of their organization, and doing it with their branding and their strategy and so on. Seems like a lot of responsibility. What did you enjoy most about that sort of work?
I enjoyed the kind of the creative aspect of it. Some businesses were very like you and them did it together, and then some businesses were like you have full creative role, full creative control over over everything, which is a kind of
Is it nice or scary?
It's a bit of both. Like it's definitely when a manager or whoever's doing the marketing says you have full creative control, it's great, but it is quite scary. But in the same sense, it can be very rewarding because it gives you real scope to be really creative and really original. And I definitely think that I certainly felt that a lot of my clients benefited from when they did hand over full creative control.
That's great. That's great. So you're able to deliver results based on having that control. Is there any learning or any experience, like anything that was a big learning experience for you, or anything that was just a really enjoyable experience that really stands out from what you've done so far? Anything from writing a thesis all the way through to, say, working with these individual businesses and helping them create and develop their campaigns?
I definitely think from a personal point of view, writing a thesis is probably the most rewarding and amazing things I've done. It's definitely one of the proudest things I've ever done when you actually see it, you get the book, and then you graduate and you've done it. Like it is, because it is a lot of work, and it was a long summer of study and hard
work. It's like
work.
a celebration that it didn't break you, right? Because it's so much work to put in.
And then I think going into the working world, I think the most rewarding things was seeing results for clients. Is after meetings and constant emails and phone calls and stuff, and a lot of time and effort, is when you actually see results. Like you see the number of people interacting with posts, you see the number of people engaging with competitions, is the good reviews, and people actually liking pictures on social media and stuff. And you hear clients coming back to you and saying, since we started working with you guys, we've seen a real increase in footfall and revenue uptake. That is really rewarding, because you build up a real interpersonal relationship with your clients, and you kind of feel a real connection for their business.
You get a sense of satisfaction, I guess, from knowing that they have got value and that result has been delivered for them.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the sense of personal satisfaction is great when you actually see your work doing well, and then in turn, that's helping clients, and that's going to benefit your company because the clients will be happy and they might recommend you to other people. Yeah, they're going to stay on for a year or two or whatever.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. So, going forward, Michael, what do you think would be the ideal next steps for you? What are you looking to do next?
Well, I mean, obviously, at the moment, I'm looking to get my foot back in the door with kind of a digital agencies in Dublin and communications companies in Dublin, to kind of get back into that sphere of social media, communications, digital marketing, because I definitely feel that that's where my strengths lie as a kind of creative person and a person who's looking for new challenges.
Somebody wants a results-driven, good writer who can put together creative campaigns. You're the guy.
Well, yeah, I definitely would. I want to sound modest, but I definitely think I can definitely succeed in those sort of roles, and that's where I'm looking for. And I think my skill set suits the most.
Yeah, super. No, that sounds good. That sounds good. But if somebody wanted to reach out to you, let's say somebody watches this or somebody comes across the post online, what is the best way to reach out to you? Is it email, phone, LinkedIn message? What do you prefer?
Yeah, well, I'm on LinkedIn. You find my name under Michael O'Keefe. I'm on my LinkedIn would have my phone number, would have my Gmail. I'm on Indeed.
So it's all there.
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. So I'll add in some links under this video as well, so people can contact you easily and find your
Yeah,
profile easily on LinkedIn. But look, that is great. Thanks for taking the time to chat and tell people about what you've done and writing a big thesis as well. Much appreciated, and best of luck with your search for some interesting roles.
Thank you very much, Ron. Thank you.